Doctor explains how seniors should drink water to support blood sugar and diabetes health. It might sound almost too simple to believe, but what if I told you that one of the most profoundly impactful tools for effectively managing your blood sugar isn't found within a pharmaceutical prescription bottle, but rather in something as fundamental and universally accessible, yet often profoundly overlooked as precisely when and how you choose to drink water? This revelation often elicits a sense of incredulity, and understandably so. Many patients, like countless individuals worldwide, immediately think, "I've been drinking water my entire life. How could such a basic act possibly hold the key to significantly improving my diabetes?" Or perhaps you, like many, approach this information with a healthy dose of skepticism, having navigated a seemingly endless gauntlet of supposed solutions that promise transformative results, but consistently failed to deliver. You might have invested hope, time, and resources into supplements that yielded no measurable benefit, embarked on restrictive diets that proved impossible to sustain over the long term, or followed well-intentioned advice that, despite sounding logical, simply did not translate into better, more stable blood sugar numbers. However, I urge you to stay with me because the insights I am about to share are not speculative theories. They represent a genuine, measurable difference that has been observed and confirmed for hundreds of my patients. Real people who diligently followed all conventional wisdom, meticulously adhered to their prescribed regimens, and still found themselves locked in a frustrating, relentless struggle against unpredictable blood sugar fluctuations. My name is Dr. Williams Thompson, and today I am committed to illuminating exactly how proper hydration timing and specific consumption strategies can dramatically improve your insulin sensitivity by an astonishing margin of up to 40%. These are not mere hypothetical cases extracted from academic textbooks or theoretical models. I am speaking of tangible improvements in the lives of real individuals. Consider patients in their 60s and 70s who conscientiously take their medications without fail, never missing a single dose, who follow meticulously crafted meal plans, measuring every portion with precision, who check their blood sugar multiple times throughout the day with unwavering diligence, who incorporate daily physical activity, such as walking every morning, into their routine. And yet, despite all these commendable efforts, their blood sugar numbers remain stubbornly unpredictable. Still, they report feeling persistently exhausted, a profound fatigue that permeates their daily lives. Still, a palpable sense of dread washes over them every time they await the results of their A1C tests, fearing yet another disheartening revelation. The profound frustration, the quiet desperation, and the heartbreaking sense of defeat that I routinely witness in my medical practice are undeniably real. These are resilient individuals who have been engaged in this unrelenting battle against diabetes for years, often for decades. They have conscientiously spent their hard-earned money on specialized diabetic foods, sacrificing culinary pleasures they genuinely love. They have diligently done everything their doctors have asked of them, often to the detriment of their own enjoyment and spontaneity, and they are, quite simply, tired of the ceaseless vigilance, the constant calculations, the endless self-monitoring, tired of the pervasive feeling that they are somehow failing, even when they are demonstrably trying harder than almost anyone else around them. Through my extensive years of clinical practice, I have come to a profoundly important realization. Sometimes the most potent and transformative medical interventions are not the most complex or technologically advanced ones. On the contrary, it is frequently the foundational basics, those fundamental physiological requirements that we have as a society inadvertently overlooked or dismissed as too rudimentary, that ultimately create the most significant, measurable, and sustainable differences in health outcomes. Emerging and robust studies from prestigious major medical research institutions worldwide have recently demonstrated something truly remarkable and paradigm-shifting. Strategically drinking water at specific targeted times throughout the day can indeed improve your body's intrinsic insulin sensitivity by an impressive margin of up to 40%. This substantial improvement signifies that your body becomes profoundly more adept at efficiently utilizing the insulin it already produces naturally, or the insulin it receives through medication. The crux of this strategy isn't merely about the quantity of water you consume, it's intricately linked to when you drink it, how you drink it, and even what subtle, beneficial elements you choose to add to it. These seemingly small, strategic adjustments in your hydration timing possess the remarkable capacity to generate substantial, life-altering improvements in overall blood sugar control. Before we delve deeper into these specific methods, I am always curious to understand the global reach of this vital information. Please consider dropping your country or city in the comments below. It truly inspires me to witness how far this message travels, and it serves as a powerful reminder to all of us that effectively managing blood sugar is a universal challenge we are courageously facing and addressing together. It is absolutely imperative to preface this discussion with a crystal clear understanding. This approach is unequivocally not intended to replace your existing medication regimen or to encourage you to disregard your doctor's invaluable guidance. Instead, this methodology is designed to empower your body by providing it with the fundamental physiological support it desperately needs to function more efficiently and optimally. By enhancing your body's natural processes, your prescribed medications can then perform the essential work they were specifically designed to do with significantly greater efficacy. To truly grasp the profound impact of these hydration strategies, let me begin by elucidating the intricate physiological transformations occurring within your body as you naturally age, particularly after the age of 60. Understanding these age-related changes makes the rationale behind every subsequent recommendation intuitively clear and profoundly sensible. After the 6th decade of life, several critical physiological shifts invariably occur that collectively make effective blood sugar control genuinely more challenging, even for individuals who are diligently doing everything right according to conventional advice. Firstly, your body's cells gradually develop an increased resistance to insulin. This means they no longer respond as quickly or as efficiently when insulin, the vital key hormone, attempts to unlock them to deliver glucose for energy production. This cellular reluctance makes glucose uptake less effective. Secondly, your pancreas, the crucial organ responsible for insulin production, often doesn't synthesize and release insulin as robustly or efficiently as it once did in younger years. Consequently, you are essentially operating with a reduced circulating supply of this absolutely crucial hormone, making the task of blood sugar regulation inherently more difficult. Thirdly, your kidneys, which play a vital role in filtering waste products from your blood, including excess glucose, tend to become less effective at this critical function with advancing age. This reduced filtration efficiency means that surplus sugar lingers in your bloodstream for extended periods instead of being promptly and effectively eliminated, leading to higher baseline glucose levels. However, here lies the profoundly critical point that most people, including a surprising number of healthcare providers, frequently and unfortunately completely miss. Your brain's intrinsic thirst mechanism becomes significantly less sensitive and less reliable with age. This last point, often overlooked, is absolutely critical for understanding age-related dehydration. You can, in fact, be substantially dehydrated, even dangerously so, without experiencing any discernible sensation of thirst whatsoever. Your mouth might not feel overtly dry. You might not experience any obvious discomfort, fatigue, or other overt warning signs. Yet, beneath the surface, at the intricate cellular level within your body, vital physiological processes are undoubtedly going awry. Even mild dehydration, representing a mere 2% deviation below optimal hydration levels, which is often barely noticeable to you subjectively, can paradoxically elevate your blood sugar by a significant 10 to 15 points. This seemingly small elevation is often precisely enough to shift you from a state of genuinely good blood sugar control into the frustrating territory of poor control. This subtle yet powerful effect is often sufficient to explain those baffling morning spikes or unexpected afternoon highs that seem to materialize from absolutely nowhere, despite all your best efforts. Allow me to illustrate this point with the compelling story of a patient named Gerald. He was 68 years old when he first walked into my office, and I could discern the profound frustration etched across his face even before he had settled into his chair. "Dr. Thompson," he began, his voice taut with a palpable mix of emotion and exasperation, "I genuinely don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I am eating meticulously, measuring every single portion with precision. I take my metformin exactly as prescribed without fail. I walk a full 3 miles every single morning, rain or shine. I've completely eliminated all added sugar and white bread from my diet. I have, to the best of my ability, done everything you and my other doctors have ever told me to do." He then produced a small, worn notebook, its pages meticulously filled with a chronological record of his daily blood sugar readings. "Look," he urged, pointing to the columns of numbers. "Some mornings it's 145. Other mornings, bafflingly, it's 185. Yesterday morning it was 162. This morning, 178. I eat the exact same breakfast every single day, the same steel-cut oatmeal, the same carefully measured portion, but the numbers are just completely all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason." His wife, seated quietly beside him, added softly, "He tries so incredibly hard, but his A1C just keeps steadily creeping up, from 7.1 to 7.9 over the past year. It's so disheartening for him." We methodically reviewed his entire daily routine, leaving no stone unturned. His diet appeared excellent, his medication timing was perfect, and his exercise regimen was completely consistent. On paper, everything looked absolutely ideal, textbook perfect. Then I posed what seemed like an almost trivial secondary question. "Gerald, could you please walk me through your precise morning routine, from the very moment you wake up until you consume your breakfast?" He recounted, "I usually get up around 6:30, check my blood sugar immediately, then I make coffee. I drink my coffee while leisurely reading the news on my tablet. Then, around 7:30, I prepare my oatmeal and take my medication with a glass of water." "When do you drink plain water?" I inquired, honing in on a potential blind spot. He paused, genuinely confused by the specificity of the question. "When I'm thirsty, I suppose. Sometimes with my medication pills. Is that wrong?" And there it was, the subtle but profound oversight. Gerald was going from 6:30 a.m. until 7:30, and often even later, before consuming any actual plain water. This meant he endured 8 full hours of sleep without any fluid intake, followed by another full hour or more awake without actively hydrating. This amounted to 9 hours of progressive dehydration each day. We implemented simple, yet highly strategic changes. Every single morning, without fail, before his cherished coffee, he began drinking 1 full glass of warm water, infused with a tiny pinch of natural sea salt and the fresh juice from half a lemon. Additionally, 15 minutes before both lunch and dinner, he would consciously drink a glass of room temperature water. He also started carrying a reusable water bottle, sipping consistently throughout the day, transforming his hydration into a continuous mindful practice. 2 weeks later, he enthusiastically called my office. His voice sounded completely different, lighter, imbued with a newfound excitement. "Dr. Thompson," he exclaimed, "my morning readings have consistently been between 125 and 138 for the past week, every single day. That level of consistency hasn't happened in over 2 years." A month later, his average fasting glucose had remarkably dropped by 22 points, Crucially, there were absolutely no medication changes whatsoever. The only intervention was water, timed correctly and consumed strategically. "I honestly thought you were a little crazy," he admitted, with a genuine smile at his follow-up appointment. Water seemed far too simple to actually matter in such a profound way, but I simply cannot argue with my glucose meter. The numbers absolutely do not lie. Before I meticulously outline the specific, evidence-based method that has consistently empowered my patients to achieve these kinds of truly transformative results, let me first illuminate the 3 most prevalent and detrimental hydration mistakes I consistently observe in my practice. It's highly probable that you, like many others, are currently making at least one of these critical errors. Mistake number 1. Waiting until you feel thirsty to drink. This is perhaps the most widespread and dangerous misconception about hydration. Thirst is not an early warning system designed to preempt dehydration. Rather, it functions as an urgent, blaring alarm bell that only sounds after your body is already significantly, often dangerously, dehydrated. By the time your mouth feels genuinely parched and dry, your blood has already begun to thicken, your glucose levels have invariably elevated, and your body's precious insulin is already struggling immensely to function efficiently. To visualize this, consider your blood as a vital river, ceaselessly carrying life-sustaining glucose to your cells throughout every part of your body. When this river is full, flowing robustly and freely, glucose moves smoothly and effortlessly to precisely where it needs to go, nourishing every cell. However, when the river's water levels dwindle, it becomes thick, sluggish, and slow-moving. Glucose gets trapped, unable to navigate the congested pathways. It accumulates persistently in your bloodstream instead of being delivered promptly to the cells that desperately need it for energy and optimal function. Mistake number 2. Drinking large amounts of water all at once in an attempt to catch up. Many individuals inadvertently fall into this pattern. They go for hours and hours without consuming any water, then suddenly attempt to compensate by drinking a huge glass or bottle, hoping to instantly rectify their hydration deficit. However, your body possesses a finite capacity for water absorption. It can only effectively absorb approximately 200 to 250 milliliters of fluid every 15 minutes, which is roughly equivalent to 1 standard cup. Any volume consumed beyond this physiological absorption limit, unfortunately, just passes straight through your system and into your bladder without actually hydrating your cells at all. This phenomenon is precisely analogous to watering a houseplant. If you carelessly dump an entire bucket of water onto it all at once, the vast majority of that water will simply run off the sides of the pot, escaping without ever reaching the roots, which remain completely dry and thirsty. Conversely, if you water the plant slowly and steadily over a period of time, the soil gradually absorbs the moisture, ensuring that the roots receive exactly what they need for optimal health and growth. Mistake number 3, drinking ice-cold water, particularly first thing in the morning or immediately before meals. While I fully acknowledge that a glass of ice-cold water can feel incredibly refreshing, especially on a sweltering day, its effects on your body, particularly in the context of blood sugar management, are counterproductive. Ice-cold water causes your blood vessels to constrict and narrow significantly. When your blood vessels narrow, insulin, the hormone responsible for transporting glucose, encounters a substantially harder time reaching the cells that desperately need it for energy. In contrast, room temperature or slightly warm water encourages your blood vessels to remain naturally relaxed and dilated, allowing insulin to circulate freely and work far more efficiently. This seemingly minor temperature difference is especially critical during key periods such as the morning when your body is emerging from a long period of dehydration, and around meal times when your body is actively engaged in processing and regulating glucose. Now, allow me to unveil the specific, highly effective method I utilize with my patients, which I affectionately refer to as the H3 method. The capital H stands for hydration, emphasizing its foundational role. The first 3 represents 3 critical timing points strategically integrated throughout your day. The second 3 denotes 3 essential elements that collectively make this holistic approach profoundly effective. Let's begin by exploring the crucial timing points. Timing point number 1, first thing in the morning. This particular timing point is, without exaggeration, the single most important hydration opportunity of your entire day. The precise moment you awaken, before you reach for your coffee, before you consider breakfast, before you even check your phone or engage in any other morning activity, consciously drink 1 full glass of warm water, approximately 350 milliliters or 12 ounces. Here's the crucial, often missed addition. Incorporate a genuinely tiny pinch of natural sea salt. I mean genuinely minuscule, just the amount that fits on the very tip of a butter knife. Alongside this, squeeze in the fresh juice from about half a lemon. Why these specific additions? After 8 full hours of restorative sleep, your body isn't merely dehydrated from a lack of water intake. You've also naturally lost vital electrolytes through normal nighttime physiological processes such as respiration and insensible perspiration. That minute quantity of natural sea salt provides essential minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, which are not merely beneficial but are actually crucial catalysts that help your cells absorb and effectively utilize the water you're drinking, preventing it from simply passing straight through your system. The fresh lemon, in turn, provides a beneficial dose of vitamin C and introduces a slight acidity that paradoxically helps to stabilize your body's blood sugar response to your first meal of the day. This deceptively simple morning ritual accomplishes something truly remarkable. It gently signals your adrenal glands to calm down. These glands naturally produce cortisol, often referred to as your body's primary stress hormone, which physiologically peaks every morning upon waking. Cortisol, in turn, instructs your liver to release its stored glucose into your bloodstream, often leading to undesirable morning blood sugar spikes. By actively calming this natural stress response with targeted proper hydration and essential minerals, you can effectively prevent that unnecessary and often frustrating morning blood sugar elevation. Let me share the experience of Elizabeth, a patient of mine who was 72 years old and had been diligently managing type 2 diabetes for 14 years. Her most persistent and ongoing source of frustration revolved around her morning blood sugar readings. She would consistently wake up with numbers between 165 and 175, despite having consumed a carefully measured and balanced dinner the previous evening, and her bedtime reading often having been perfectly acceptable. We initiated just this one simple change in her routine. Warm water with a small pinch of natural sea salt and fresh lemon juice, consumed first thing every morning, at least 20 minutes before her coffee. 3 weeks later, her average morning reading had dropped significantly to 128. This remarkable improvement occurred with the exact same medication dosage and the identical evening routine. The only discernible difference was how she consciously chose to start each day. "I wake up feeling genuinely different too," she enthusiastically reported at her follow-up appointment. "More clear-headed, less foggy and confused, and that lower morning number gives me such a profound sense of confidence and positive momentum for the entire day ahead." Timing point number 2, before meals. Approximately 15 minutes before both lunch and dinner, make it a habit to drink a slightly smaller glass of water, around 150 to 200 ml, which is roughly 1 cup. This seemingly inconsequential habit performs several physiologically important functions. Firstly, it gently prepares your entire digestive system for the incoming food, stimulating the production of essential digestive enzymes. Most importantly, for the critical purpose of blood sugar management, it subtly dilutes the contents of your stomach. This dilution directly contributes to slowing down the rate at which carbohydrates are absorbed into your bloodstream. When carbohydrates enter your bloodstream slowly and gradually, in a controlled release, instead of surging all at once in a rapid rush, your body's available insulin can actually keep pace with the demand, working more effectively. Consequently, your blood sugar rises gently and steadily, avoiding the dramatic and often damaging spikes that are so detrimental to long-term diabetes management. Compelling clinical studies have conclusively demonstrated that this remarkably simple habit can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by a significant margin of up to 20%. This reduction often represents the crucial difference between struggling with persistent, elusive control and successfully maintaining genuinely good, stable blood sugar management. Timing point number 3, during physical activity. If you engage in activities such as walking, gardening, performing household chores, or any form of sustained physical activity for a duration exceeding 20 minutes, it is absolutely essential that you consciously drink water during that activity, not merely afterward when your body is already in a state of depletion and dehydration. Aim to consume approximately 100 to 120 milliliters of water every 15 minutes of sustained activity, focusing on small, frequent sips rather than large, infrequent gulps. This consistent intra-activity hydration plays a critical role in maintaining your blood volume stability and actively prevents the erratic blood sugar fluctuations that commonly occur with physical exertion, particularly in individuals living with diabetes. Now, let me elaborate on the 3 essential elements, the second 3 in the H3 method, that are integral to making this approach so profoundly effective. Element number 1, temperature matters. The temperature of your water is not a trivial detail. It significantly influences its physiological impact. Room temperature water or slightly warm water is unequivocally optimal, especially when consumed first thing in the morning and immediately before meals. Ideally, aim for water that is around 22 to 24 degrees C or roughly 72 to 75 degree F. While cold water is not inherently bad in all contexts, warm water promotes a natural state of relaxation and dilation within your blood vessels. This vasodilation allows for dramatically better insulin circulation and more efficient delivery to your cells where it is critically needed. This seemingly small difference in temperature creates cumulative benefits that compound significantly over time, leading to superior blood sugar control. Element number 2, minerals matter. Simply consuming pure, demineralized water alone is often insufficient for optimal hydration at the cellular level. Your cells, to properly absorb and effectively utilize water, fundamentally require a balanced spectrum of essential minerals. That tiny, deliberate pinch of natural sea salt added to your morning water provides precisely these vital electrolytes. Authentic, unrefined natural sea salt contains a harmonious balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, all of which are crucial for cellular hydration and countless other bodily functions. It is imperative to avoid regular, highly processed table salt, which has been chemically stripped of these vital trace minerals during its refining process. Instead, always opt for unrefined sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, as these varieties retain the full, complex spectrum of minerals your body genuinely needs for optimal functioning. Element number 3, consistency matters profoundly. Your body, being an intricate and adaptive biological system, absolutely thrives on predictable routine and regularity. Consistently drinking water at the same predictable times every single day helps to profoundly regulate your entire metabolic system. Integrating morning water at a fixed time and consuming pre-meal water at regular established intervals directly contributes to stabilizing your blood sugar patterns over time, fostering a sense of metabolic equilibrium. There is one more crucial addition I consistently recommend to my patients for even greater benefits, particularly for nighttime blood sugar stability. Approximately 1 hour before bedtime, Consume one final glass of warm water with 200 milligrams of either magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate dissolved into it. Magnesium is an absolutely crucial mineral for proper insulin function. It acts as a cofactor in hundreds of enzymatic reactions, including those involved in glucose metabolism. Alarmingly, the vast majority of people over the age of 60 are clinically deficient in this vital mineral. Taking magnesium before sleep serves a powerful dual purpose. Firstly, it significantly helps your muscles relax, promoting deeper, more restorative sleep, a critical factor for overall health and blood sugar regulation. Secondly, it keeps your blood sugar significantly more stable throughout the entire nocturnal period, preventing those problematic overnight spikes or dips that can disrupt sleep and impact morning readings. Inevitably, everyone asks me this exact practical question. Doctor, precisely how much water should I actually be drinking each day to achieve optimal results? Here is a straightforward, practical formula to guide you. Take your current body weight, measured in pounds, and divide that number by 2. The resulting number, expressed in ounces, represents your baseline daily water intake requirement. For instance, if you weigh 160 pounds, your body requires approximately 80 ounces of water daily, which translates to roughly 10 standard 8-ounce cups. If you engage in regular exercise or spend substantial periods in warm weather, you should proactively add 1 additional cup of water for every 20 minutes of physical activity or prolonged heat exposure. How do you know if you are consistently drinking enough water? The simplest, most reliable indicator is to observe your urine color. Ideally, it should be a pale yellow, akin to the color of diluted lemonade. It should not be completely clear, as that often indicates you might actually be overhydrated and potentially flushing out essential electrolytes. Conversely, it should certainly not be dark yellow or amber, which is a clear and urgent signal of dehydration. Pale yellow is the optimal and healthy target. For practical implementation, I suggest this simple strategy. Acquire a reusable water bottle that comfortably holds approximately 24 ounces. Make it a habit to fill this bottle completely 3 distinct times throughout your day, once in the morning, once at midday, and once in the afternoon. This regimen alone accounts for 72 ounces of water, which is an excellent baseline for most adults. Keep that bottle constantly visible, prominently placed on your kitchen counter, on your work desk, or within easy reach in your car. Visual reminders are remarkably effective and work far better than attempting to rely solely on memory amidst the distractions of daily life. So, what tangible changes and improvements should you realistically expect when you conscientiously begin to implement this method? What does the typical journey look like? In the first week, you will most likely find yourself making frequent trips to the bathroom. This is an entirely normal and expected physiological adjustment as your body processes and adapts to proper, consistent hydration levels. Rest assured, this heightened frequency of urination typically settles down significantly by the second week. Concurrently, you should begin to notice your morning blood sugar readings starting to stabilize, perhaps averaging 10 to 15 points lower. While this might not represent a dramatic, instantaneous, overnight transformation, it signifies consistent, measurable, and highly encouraging improvement. By weeks 2 to 3, you should undeniably experience noticeably more stable and sustained energy levels throughout your entire day. That frustrating afternoon energy crash, often accompanied by mental fog, will become a thing of the past. Your post-meal blood sugar readings should also become substantially more predictable and consistently within a healthier range. By week 4, if you routinely check your A1C, you might observe it beginning to trend downward. Again, not necessarily a huge, precipitous drop immediately, but a clear, positive movement in the right direction, confirming the efficacy of your efforts. And here's the feedback I hear most often from my patients, a sentiment that encapsulates the profound impact of this method. Doctor, I just feel genuinely better. I can't quite articulate it precisely, but I feel more like my old self again, clearer, more energetic, more engaged with life. That, in essence, is the profound transformation that proper, consistent hydration creates. It does not claim to cure diabetes, Nor does it replace necessary medication, but it fundamentally helps your body work the way it's actually designed to work, operating at its peak potential. Let me be absolutely clear about something critically important, something that cannot be overstated. This hydration strategy is unequivocally not a replacement for proper medical care, professional medical advice, or your existing diabetes management plan. If you are currently taking diabetes medication, it is paramount that you do not stop taking it without explicit consultation and guidance from your prescribing physician. If your doctor has established a specific management plan for you, it is crucial that you continue following it faithfully. What this hydration method does accomplish is to robustly support your existing medication, empowering it to work significantly more efficiently and effectively within your body. I have had numerous patients who, after diligently following this method for 3 consistent months, were able to, under their doctor's careful and informed supervision, safely reduce their medication dosages. This was not because water miraculously replaced medicine, but rather because their body's entire metabolic system began functioning more optimally, reducing the overall burden of the disease. It is also vital to exercise caution and consult with your physician if certain pre-existing conditions apply. If you have any degree of kidney disease, it is absolutely essential that you speak directly with your physician before substantially increasing your water intake. For the vast majority of people, this approach is completely safe and profoundly beneficial. However, if your kidneys are not filtering properly, you require individualized professional guidance to ensure your safety and well-being. Similarly, if you are currently taking blood pressure medication, please pay close attention as you increase your hydration. Proper hydration can naturally contribute to lowering blood pressure, which is generally a genuinely beneficial effect. However, this beneficial reduction in blood pressure might necessitate adjustments to your medication dosage. Monitor yourself carefully for any signs of dizziness or lightheadedness, and report these symptoms to your doctor immediately. Let me introduce you to Dorothy, who was 74 years old when we first met. Dorothy had been navigating the complexities of diabetes management for a staggering 19 years. She had been on multiple medications, tried various restrictive diets, and conscientiously attended numerous diabetes education classes at the hospital. Her understanding of carbohydrate counting was arguably superior to that of most registered nutritionists. Yet, despite her unwavering dedication and knowledge, her A1C had been steadily creeping upward, now standing at a disheartening 8.6. Her endocrinologist was seriously contemplating initiating insulin therapy, a prospect that filled her with dread. "I feel like I've completely failed," she confided quietly, her voice trembling slightly with suppressed emotion. "I've done absolutely everything right for 19 years, but my body just keeps getting worse and worse. Maybe this is simply what happens. Maybe I can't fight it anymore." Her hydration habits, upon closer inspection, were undeniably terrible. Perhaps 3 or 4 small glasses of water daily, if that. She drank coffee in the morning and tea in the afternoon, but actual plain water? Very, very little. "I never feel thirsty," she explained, reiterating the common age-related desensitization of the thirst mechanism. "And honestly, I hate constantly using the bathroom. It's embarrassing when I'm out with friends." We embarked on the H3 method together. Yes, for the first week or so, she did experience the need for more frequent bathroom visits, but I reassuringly explained that her body would adjust within 10 to 14 days, as it always does. 6 weeks later, when she walked into my office, she looked noticeably younger. Her eyes were brighter, her skin appeared healthier, and she was actually smiling, a genuine, radiant smile. "My numbers have been the absolute best they've been in 5 years, she proudly declared, eagerly showing me her meticulously kept glucose log. "My average used to hover around 185 to 205. Now I'm consistently between 145 and 165, she beamed. "My doctor actually reduced one of my medications," but she quickly added, with a profound sense of newfound joy, that it wasn't just about the numbers on the meter. I have genuine energy again, she exclaimed. Real, sustained energy. I can think clearly without that constant brain fog that used to plague me. I even started gardening again, something I had completely given up on 2 years ago because I simply lacked the energy and mental clarity. 3 months later, her A1C results came back at a remarkable 7.3, a significant drop from 8.6. You gave me my life back, she said, tears streaming down her face. But these were tears of profound happiness and gratitude, flowing freely. And with water, something that costs virtually nothing. I just wish someone had explained this to me 19 years ago when I was first diagnosed. Dorothy's compelling story encapsulates precisely why I am so passionately committed to creating and sharing these educational videos, because there are thousands upon thousands of people exactly like her, struggling right now, trying so incredibly hard, feeling utterly defeated and hopeless, when sometimes the most impactful and liberating answer is genuinely simpler and more accessible than anyone could possibly imagine. I want to extend a personal challenge to you. Commit to trying this powerful approach for just 14 days, a mere 2 weeks. Follow the H3 method exactly as I have meticulously outlined it. Morning water with sea salt and lemon first thing upon waking. Water 15 minutes before lunch and dinner, ensuring proper daily water intake spread consistently throughout the day, and magnesium water before bed. During those 2 weeks, diligently track your blood sugar levels with careful attention. See for yourself if the numbers improve, as countless others have. But just as importantly, pay genuine introspective attention to how you feel. Do you experience more sustained energy, clearer thinking, better quality sleep? If, after these 2 weeks, you observe real, measurable improvement in both your numbers and your overall well-being, then please keep going. Make this your permanent new normal, integrating these simple habits seamlessly into your life. And please do me and countless others a profound favor. Leave a comment below, sharing what you noticed, what changes you experienced. Your personal story might be precisely what another person, feeling desperate and defeated, needs to hear to give this method a serious and hopeful try. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please consider typing "I watched till the end" in the comments below. It genuinely helps me understand that this vital message is reaching the people who truly need it, and it significantly helps YouTube's algorithms share this critical, life-changing information with more individuals who are struggling with blood sugar management. And then tell me, are you going to bravely try the H3 method? What's your biggest struggle when it comes to staying consistently hydrated? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. I personally read every single message, and your insights are invaluable. If this information was genuinely helpful and empowering to you, please consider sharing it with someone who is currently struggling with their blood sugar, a parent, a spouse, a close friend, or anyone in your network who could profoundly benefit from this simple, practical, and highly effective strategy. And if you haven't already, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos dedicated to managing diabetes, improving metabolic health, and living well and vibrantly with chronic conditions. Thank you for being here, for your attention, and for proactively taking your health seriously. Remember, small, strategic changes implemented consistently and with mindful intention invariably create genuinely measurable and profoundly transformative results over time. Take care of yourself. This is Dr. Williams Thompson, empowering you to live your healthiest life.